Okay, welcome to yoga. We're going to start that playlist, the April 2021 Evolve playlist, starting with It Ain't Weird in 3, 2, 1, play. All right. So today, kind of in line with the theme of the month to evolve, I want to read something out of this new book called The Call of the Wild. It just came out yesterday, and I've gotten to about 50 pages. And it's really about how to heal trauma and awaken your own power and learn how to use it for good. And I think this is very interesting because the author, she was one who got me into pelvic floor PT. And she started as a yoga teacher, practitioner, dancer, and was like really in tune with her body. And I feel like that's why I came to yoga, was to like learn about my body and make it feel better and get flexible and whatnot. But it's starting to evolve. The practice that I have, it's not just about the body, it's about the internal awareness. And then I read this page and I was blown away. So I wanted to share it with you and give it as food for thought. And then maybe we can take this into our practice a bit. So she says, if you have a meditation or yoga practice, you may have trained your gaze. Your practice might have a preference for keeping eyes open or closed, or some variation of the two. The assumption of many spiritual practices is that we are all too externally focused and that the answers to our dilemmas, both existential and personal, lie in our inner worlds. Therefore, in these traditions, inner experience is exalted as truth. This interoceptive preference, which is like an inner preference, often accompanies the narrative that the outer material world is less valuable and less real than our inner spiritual world. While I respect these philosophies and practices, I would suggest that there is such a thing as going too far inside. While most of these practices have an aim to free us from habitual behavior, they often develop strong habits in and of themselves. We can get used to directing our awareness in specific and often intense ways and lose the dance of inside-outside pendulation. As we develop our felt sense, it's important that we are able to dip in and dip out of our inner world. Our nervous system health thrives with an ability to be comfortable in solitude in our inner world, as well as in harmony and company with our outer world, and the ability to swing between them. Gaining this flexibility helps us become more adaptive, engaged, and comfortable in different environments. In relationships with others, we sometimes find ourselves caught in another person's experience, having lost track of what's happening for us in our own felt sense. The next time you're having a meaningful conversation, use your felt sense and orientation skills to notice how much of your attention is within you in your inner world and how much is with the other person in the outer world. Give it a percentage. Can you still track your own experience at the same time you're listening to the other person? Can you notice the sensations in your own body as you pay attention to what the other person is saying and feeling? If you're seated across from someone, practice pendulating between looking around the room some of the time and looking at your friend some of the time. What happens when you soften your eyes, shift your weight back, and retract some of your attention inside? What do you notice when you return to yourself? So I wanted to bring this piece into our practice today. Literally, that's what yoga is. It's a practice. So we're not going to get it right every single time, but this is also the practice, is to begin to notice these things, how we interact not only with ourselves, but with our outer world. So I will ask you during this flow to go in and out by closing your eyes, opening your eyes, finding this new orientation. So go ahead and start by sitting on your blocks if you're not yet there comfortably. I think it's easier to start sitting however comfortably as you want. Legs can be crossed in front, or you can sit on your shins. And I want you to start with your eyes open. And gaze down at the top of your mat. And just notice that solid line and your focused attention there. And then start to lift your gaze up towards the screen, or maybe even past the screen at the wall, or where the wall meets the ceiling in your room. And then I want you to bring your chin back to the horizon. So it's just level with the ground. And keep your eyes a little dull. And try to soften your gaze there. And with your hands, start to feel the outside boundaries of your body by sliding them up and down your thighs or giving yourself a small squeeze at your knees or at your quads or at your hips, and keep your eyes open. Maybe you even look down and notice this touch. Notice this body that you're in. You take one hand to your belly, one hand to your low back. Start to feel the front and back of your body. With your eyes open, just feeling. Maybe take one hand to your chest and one hand to up and behind your back. And then slide your back hand to the nape of your neck, the front one to your throat. And then take your other backhand to the back of your head and put your hand on your forehead. And relax your shoulders. Notice what your head feels like in space, and then go side to side. And just feeling the way your head is shaped. How interesting. And just hold right there. Close your eyes now. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Let your gaze go inward. Let your eyes roll back to the back of your head. And if you need some support with that, bring your hand back to the back of your head again, and the other hand to the front. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And now relax your hands back down to your thighs. And with your eyes closed, let your gaze again soften, but start to feel into your body without actual touch. Locate the block that you're sitting on or the ground that you're sitting on, and take that same awareness up to your low back, just as you did with your hands, all the way up your spine, to your neck, to the back of your head. And then with an even softer inner gaze, can you find yourself in the space that you're in? So without even turning around quite yet, can you find the back line of your mat? Do you know how far in on your mat you are? What's behind the mat? Is there a wall back there, or a table, shelves? And then start to notice what you have next to you, side to side, just with your eyes closed for a second. Remember that this moving from side to side, it's important for this feeling of safety, which calms the nervous system and brings us into harmony with our inner world and outer world. Just go ahead and open up your eyes, take in that outer world. And if you need to orient yourself, take a look around with your eyes just soft and centered in your head. What's to your left and what's to your right? Look at those four corners of your mat again. Now take a big breath in, sweep your arms up and around you so you can fill up your space. Exhale, pull your hands in towards your heart center, come inwards. Maybe close your eyes right there. Then inhale, open up your eyes again, take your fingertips up. Exhale, let your hands drift down and around to the sides of you. A couple more times. Inhale, sweep up and out. Look up, take in the light. Exhale, pull it all inside, close your eyes. Inhale, hands to the sky, open your eyelids, acknowledge the world. Exhale and open yourself up to it. Nice job. Shift forward, come onto all fours. You can stick those blocks out in front of you. Let's tuck the toes under and just gently push your hips back to your feet. You can rock in and out of that feeling, noticing your feet, all four corners, letting your toes stack, right? Your heels over your big toe for the most part, and then maybe you rotate them out and in, feeling all the way down into your arches. Stay for one more. And then come back up into your tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Breathe in and lift your tailbone to the sky, lift your head, keep your eyes open, soak it all in, everything around you. Maybe you wag your tail from left to right, kind of like an animal that's checking its surroundings. And then breathe out, round into your spine, collect your belly button up and in like you're trying to protect your core. And then inhale again, arch through the spine, take a look around. Exhale, come inwards, gaze at yourself underneath you. Last one, breathe in, feel your inner thighs hug together. Exhale, round in your spine. And breathe in and come back to the midline with a long spine, head in line with your upper back. Keep your left hand down, breathe in and reach your right arm up. Open up your chest, let your hips sway with you if that feels good. Rotate your hand, your wrist on the right. Rotate it the other way. Take a big breath in. Exhale and lower yourself down onto the back of your right shoulder, taking a twist. Use your left hand right by your face to open up even more on every breath out. Being on your side in a twist can feel a little disorienting, so maybe you keep your eyes open and take in the shapes around you 50% of the time, and then 50% maybe you stay inward with your sense of breath. With the expansion of your lungs, you can feel your ribs, you feel your hips, your toes still. And then bring your left hand back down by your face. Breathe in, sweep your right arm up to the sky, unwind, open yourself back up. And exhale, plant your right hand down. Inhale, left hand comes up. Open up your chest, let your hips sway, and circle out your hand, your wrists. Reverse it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and come down, collapsing onto the back of your left shoulder. Use your right hand to keep your spine stacked. Eyes open, eyes closed. Do what feels a little more unnatural for you, just to try. Maybe even try to take your gaze all the way up to the ceiling. Noticing not just the four corners of your mat, but the four walls that hold this room you're in. It's not 4, it's 6. You're in a cube. Take one more breath. And then bring your right hand back down by your face. Inhale, left arm up to the sky. Unwind it. Exhale and plant your hand down. Walk your hands forward just about a palm print or a finger's length distance with those toes tucked under. Take a breath in. Pull your belly button up towards your spine to start. Exhale, keep the belly button pulled in. Lift up your knees. Push back to your first down dog. You can start to walk out your feet, your ankles, your calves. Push into your hands again and pretend like you're a cat, maybe a big cat, pawing into the earth with your feet and your hands. And just checking out your surroundings, looking back at your legs, your own body. Find some stillness. Let the heels drift down towards the earth. Keep your knees bent, soft, while your quads remain slightly active. So keep pushing the backs of your knees open while maintaining the soft bend if you have tighter hamstrings. Imagine your sits bones widening out at the base of your pelvis, The more you push down into your hands, you feel your spine elongate. Your head can just remain heavy, and you can even dangle it from side to side if that feels good. Take a solid breath in through your nose. Take an open mouth exhale and stick your tongue out. Nice, that's called the lion's breath. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward at your thumbs. Breathe out, bend your knees, and walk your feet up towards your hands, hip width distance apart. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Use your hands on your thighs to come up, just so your spine becomes parallel now with the ground. Exhale and let that go. You can touch onto your calves, your ankles, or you can even hold your biceps or your elbows in this forward fold. Bend your knees a little bit more if you need to, and practice this coming forward and coming back with your weight in your heels and your toes. Just find your center here. Your center is where you feel like your pelvis can spill forward and your spine can just dangle pretty much from your pelvis. You can even rotate side to side if that feels good. Relax your hands down to the ground. Bend your knees, slowly stack up your spine, one vertebrae at a time, keeping your eyes open. Take a reach with your hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands in towards your heart space. Keep your eyes open. You can look down at your feet if you need to, but if you can just inwardly find your feet while you, again, take in the wall or take in the screen in front of you. Maybe you're outside. You can take in some nature. Find this weight going back and forth again, finding your balance. Then take a breath in, reach your prayer all the way up to the sky. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Long spine, push your hands on your blocks or your thighs. Exhale and plant your fingertips down. Keep your right foot in front, step your left foot back, lower your back knee down. You can use blocks to bring the ground a little higher to you. Shift your hips forward in this low lunge. Just stay here for a second, working into your left hip flexors. And just keep your heart, chest, everything open in the front. You rock your pelvis from right to left. Finding those small spaces in your body that are craving some attention. Okay, push into your blocks so that you can stack yourself up, shoulders over hips over the back knee for now. You're going to tuck your tailbone down, pull your belly button in, take a big reach up towards the sky. And when you exhale, pull your elbows wide, like you're trying to catch your heart from behind, push your hips forward. Keep your palms almost like they're facing up towards the sky, and take your chin there too. So stay right there with your right big toe grounded, or you can practice some proprioception by closing your eyes. And imagine your right heel digging down into the earth, pulling back towards your left knee. Low back feels long and lengthy, supported by your upper back, by your hips. One more breath. Good. Exhale. Open your eyes. Let your hands come down. Reach for your blocks. Shift your legs back or your front leg straight. Hip stack again. Take a breath in and lift up your heart. Pull your toes up towards your face. Breathe out, round into your spine. Let yourself breathe into your right hamstring. Part of that inner gaze and inner knowing is acknowledging what you're actually saying to yourself. You're having conversations with yourself. What are you telling yourself, your body right now? Is it the same stuff that you would share with the outside world? Or is it a secret? Take 2 more breaths right here. Letting something else go. And breathe in, lift up your chest, bend into your right knee again. And let's keep the left hand down on the block or the ground. You're gonna tuck your left toes under, lift up your left knee. Take a breath in, reach your right arm for the sky for a little twist. Okay, pull both shoulders back. Like you're checking on your back body. You can look up at your top thumb. And take 1 more breath right here. And exhale, right hand comes down to the block. Bend into your back knee and take a big step up towards the top of your mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift, long spine. And breathe out, round your spine down. And inhale, halfway lift. Just pick up your chest, push into your blocks. Exhale, step your right leg back and lower your right knee down. So keep the blocks there to support you as you work your way into this lunge. Hips down. Think about pubic bone leading the way. Like it's reaching for the left heel. And keep your chest proud, open, aware. Notice what's happening inside while acknowledging outside. Notice where your attention is really needed. Settle into your hips, go side to side. 2 more breaths. Come back to the middle, push into your blocks, shift your hips back so that you can lift up your chest. You may need to slide that front foot back towards you. So do that tucking of your tailbone, drawing your waistline, your organs back towards your spine. Take a breath in and reach up. Exhale, lunge forward, leading with your pubic bone. Pull your elbows wide and pause right there. Heart open, expansive. Chest really broad. Take your chin off of your throat. Close your eyes if you dare. Or just want to play and see. Keep your left big toe grounded. Back toes can stay tucked under to help support you. Imagine this little scissoring of your body towards the center for 1 more breath. Take an inhale. Exhale, open your eyes, reach forward for the blocks, and then shift your hips back, straighten out your left leg. Breathe in and pull your spine long, toes up towards the sky. Exhale, fold. Maybe here you practice closing the eyes. Give yourself attention. Not just paying attention, can you actually listen? Is your body asking for a softer knee? Maybe it wants to touch the ground with the hands. Track those sensations in your body without getting too attached to what they mean. Two more. To feel, to experience. And take a breath in, lift up your heart, bend into your left knee. Bring a block with you underneath your right hand if you'd like it on the other side. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee. Just stay settled in the hips. Breathe in and twist from the spine, opening up with the left hand to the sky. You can check what feels good on your neck, on your gaze. Maybe it's looking straight forward, down at your hand, or up at your top thumb. Where is your back body in space? Can you lean back? One more breath in and a breath out to fold back down. Bend into the back knee to pounce all the way up to the top of your mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend into your knees, start to rise one notch at a time. Take an inhale, reach up. Then exhale, pull the elbows wide, lift up your chest. Soak it all in. Breathe in and reach back up. Exhale, take your hands all the way down and find a grip behind your back. If you can bring the palms of your hands together, the heels of your hands, that's great. If not, you can always just grab a little towel or strap. Take a breath in and squeeze your arms as long as you can. Tailbone down. Take your hands off your butt. Exhale, soft knees, fold forward. Stretch into your chest, into your shoulders. Robert and I have been doing different workouts this week. I feel this everywhere. Let it all go for one more. Nice. Then relax the hands down to the floor. Let your body shake it out if it needs to, wiggle it out. You're gonna keep your right foot up front. Slide your left toes behind you over to the right so you can come down onto your left shin. Find a seat. Perfect. Okay. Take your right leg and cross it all the way over if you can, keeping the foot grounded and knee up towards the sky. Right hand's gonna come behind your back. Try to glue down through both of your sits bones. Take a breath in, reach your left arm up. Exhale, find another twist to the right. Use the back of your arm to open up through your spine and your shoulder, maybe your outer right hip. Let your eyeballs swivel back with your head. Use your right hand to pop yourself up for one more breath in. One more breath out. And inhale and come back to the center. And keep your legs kind of as they are, but you're gonna squash your right knee a little more down on your left knee. And your foot is gonna slide back so it's right by your thighs. If this feels way too intense, take that left leg out in front of you and just let your knee point down and away from you versus up towards the sky. Okay, stay grounded in those sits bones again. Take a breath in. And exhale, fold forward. Let your belly touch your thigh as best as you can. And it's kind of a different sensation. You can use your hands to push your hips back to really feel that traction. Feel it? The blocks are also there just to support your head. Your body, your upper body doesn't have to do all the work here. It's more about releasing the tension in your back body to create more weight on top of your legs, to create potentially more sensation in your hips. The further out your feet are away from you, the more you'll feel in your hips. I want you to take 5 solid deep breaths. Count them out in your head. Just 2 more. Okay, breathe in, lift your head off any block, start to stack up your spine. All you're gonna do is unravel your legs, bring them forward. You can tick-tock them out if you need to, or start to just hug them in towards your chest, roll onto your back, and start to rock like a little ball, forward and back, massaging your spine, your hips, Maybe you come all the way to a rock, up onto your feet, and all the way up to standing. If that's not possible for you, don't worry. Just make your way to standing. Okay. We're gonna do, nice work. We're gonna do one more grip, but take the goofy grip that you didn't take before with your hands behind your back. Breathe in, pull the shoulder heads down and back. Hands reach off of your butt. Take a breath in, open up your heart. Exhale, bend with soft knees, hinge at your hips, fold over. Stretch into your biceps, the fronts of your shoulders, your pecs, hamstrings. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let your hands go, bring them down to the floor. That rhymed. Okay, take your hands to help support you, your balance. And just slide your right toes behind you over to the left of your space. Lower down by bending both knees, find his feet. Okay, so sitting first in this way where the left knee points up towards the sky, you still feel rooted in both of your sits bones. Take your left hand back behind you, maybe without even looking. Take a breath in, reach your right arm up. Exhale, twist to the left. Travel your eyes and your chin back. Use your right arm to facilitate an energetic push into your twist. Keep using your breath. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, come back to the middle, unwinding your spine slowly. Guide your top knee across and over your bottom knee. So I almost like to look like that as like a sandwiching. So everything gets to line up right in the middle as best as you can. If this bottom knee is still pointing up a little bit, that's okay. You might not even have to lean forward to get this sensation that you're looking for. But take a breath in first to sit up tall. Orient your sits bones down into the ground, especially heavier on your left. Exhale and fold. Let yourself stay anchored back. Using blocks as needed for this side. Remembering your breath is kind of the same thing of an inner and outer experience going through its cycles over and over. Inhale to tap into the upregulation of our nervous system. And your exhale to downregulate. Coming full circle every time. Maybe here you work on finding that suspension in between each phase. You breathe in, hold, exhale, hold or suspend, and feel that out. Take two more. Use your breath in to lift your spine, reawakening to what's happening on the outside. Scoot your blocks out of the way if they're in front of you. And this time, you're gonna unravel and you're gonna play, okay? Holding onto the backs of your legs, rock up and down your spine until you can find a little balance, a little tipping point on your tailbone or sacrum. Can you feel it? You should feel both of your sits bones again. You can stay using your hands if you want, but I want you to pay attention to your back. So here I'm showing a little rounded back, but can you plop your heart up, finding more extension in your upper back, a proud chest, a little more core activation here in the low belly. You can remove the hands, plug your legs in together towards the center midline. You can take your hands forward, chin off your chest. Notice the shaping that can happen here. And just take 2 beats in, 2 beats out. One more breath in, one more breath out. Now play a little. Inhale here at the top. Exhale, lower all the way down, maybe just on your low back. Inhale, come back up again. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Exhale and lower. 2 more times. Inhale up. Maybe you lose your balance for a second. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pop up. Heart forward. Exhale down. And then let yourself bend your knees. Plant your feet. Rock your knees from side to side. Noticing how your hips, your low back felt during that. If your low back was a little aggravated, we got to work on that core, baby. Okay. Take both of your blocks, or just one, stick them together so that it creates a big platform. So you get one per butt cheek. Slide them up underneath you when you lift up your hips. Lower your hips back down to the ground. You can stay here in a supported bridge, just with your knees bent up towards the sky, or you can start to walk your feet out long. Just let those hip flexors that potentially helped you out in that boat pose, let those guys open up. And then notice your body, how it's oriented now in your space. You can close your eyes to start. Feel out your pelvis, feel out your belly, your chest, your ribs, all the way back down to your hips. And then practice maybe opening your eyes. And even with this general awareness of your outer world, what do you notice in your body? The heaviness of your heels, any tingles in your hips, your low back, how your chest feels, how your neck is, where your tongue is in space, the hard palate in your mouth. You get so in tune with even the inner organs that you have. Are you hungry? Are you digesting? Can you feel your bladder? Or your reproductive organs? Take another beat to notice. Practicing. And then begin to bend your knees. Keep your hips on the blocks. Lift one foot up, followed by the next, up towards the sky. You can let your hands come down by your sides. And just relax your hips back down into the blocks. Imagine the weight of your femurs sifting back down towards the earth. Same thing with your shin bones, your feet, all those tiny bones in your feet and ankles, even in your knees. Imagine them getting a chance to decompress. With your eyes open, Notice what they can do too. Squeezing your toes together or slaying them open. Does it feel good to shake them, wiggle them around, circle them out? And slowly bend your knees, plant your feet down. Push into your feet, lift up your hips. Get those blocks out from underneath you. And bring your knees in towards your chest and pull them wide. You can hold on to just your shins or you can hold on to the outer edges of your feet. Stay right there, or you can kick your feet up towards the sky. Notice if your tailbone is lifted up and curled up underneath you. I want you to point your tailbone down so you create a small arch in your low back. Pull your shoulder blades down your back and just gently rock side to side. Kick one leg out, followed by the other. Like a baby playing on its back. Just be playful and explore with it. And then come back to the middle. Give yourself a solid squeeze in towards your center like you're a little seedling. Take a breath in and a breath out. Let your legs straighten out across your mat. Arms down by your side. Let your palms face the sky. Let your toes flop out. And shut your eyes down if that feels safe in your body. And if Shavasana is not the place you feel like taking rest, you can follow me and just stay in a seat. Hands on the knees or hands on the chest or belly, up to you. Don't worry about controlling your breath for the next minute. Let everything free flow here in stillness. If your eyes are closed, can you notice any of that movement in your body? All the tiny cells that stay awakened. Letting everything work in harmony. You can stay longer, or you can start to repeat those big rounds of breath. Once you find this interception, right? Finding your inner awareness, can you notice the outside surroundings through all of your senses, not just your eyes? What do you smell? What can you hear? What do you feel on your skin? You can take yourself through a full body stretch whenever you're ready. Bend your knees, roll over onto one of your sides. Take one moment, extra moment here. Just find some gratitude for how your body works today. And with that gratitude, pick yourself up into a seat. Stay fully open and awake and aware and alive. Eyes open. Bring your hands to your heart space. And take a breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Thank you so much for joining class today. From our hearts to yours. Namaste. This is Robin, by the way.